Are you ready for a major shift in the automotive recycling industry? Even auto repair or scrap metal recyclers are going to be affected by President Trump's Unleashing American Energy Act that he signed on January 20th, 2025. This is going to be a game changer for all of us in this industry. In this video today, we're going to break it down and talk about how this is going to affect all of us. No more EV mandates, Rich.
No more.
What do you think about that?
Hallelujah.
Didn't that kill the industry and the catalytic converter trade?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, today we're talking about the Unleashing American Energy Executive Order that Trump signed in January of 25. And a couple of the takeaways that we got out of it was, no more EV mandates here in the United States. And the other one was gas cars are going to have fewer restrictions, including emissions waivers. That's huge.
Yeah, that hasn't been talked about in a long time.
We always talked about in terms of different states across the country, some of them have no emission testing.
Yeah, that's right.
It just didn't, there was no congruency there. It felt kind of strange. And out here in California, we have federal plus CARB standards.
Right.
End of the EV subsidies.
So that means that tax credit of $7,500 is now going away.
That's what we're hearing. And also, this is an executive order, but also this week we heard that Congress is working on a bill to make that law, eliminating the $7,500 rebate. Subsidy rebate.
Right.
But also on top of that, taxing new EV sales by $1,000 to help with the road repair, because there's no gas tax that's collected on that either, right?
Definitely. We've learned that here in the state of California.
Yeah.
Right? With all the EV push, they weren't getting the money to fix the roads.
And the gas
here.
taxes went up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we feel that.
But the EVs didn't pay it.
That's right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, with that being said, how is that going to affect the used car pricing market?
Used cars. My opinion is that new car sales will increase because there'll be more options and more internal combustion engines that are going to be sold into the market. Fewer EVs get sold, and possibly see some interest rates come down a little bit later this year.
That'll definitely help with that.
All that combined basically tells us that there's going to be a recovery in new car sales in North America, and people are going to turn in their used cars. So it's going to put pressure on used car pricing. So I see used car prices beginning to fall this year, and more of them entering the end-of-life supply chain to end up at the salvage yards.
Right.
That's how I kind of read that.
So how do you take it, this executive order, as far as the auto recycling industry then?
Well, I think there's going to be more vehicles ending up in the salvage pipeline.
Yeah, but we've been seeing cars staying on the road longer and longer, right? I mean,
Right.
It used to be 3 to 5 years.
Right.
Then it was 7 to
Well, during
10
COVID, what
years.
happened to new cars?
There was no new car sales because, if you remember, there was a chip shortage.
There was a chip shortage.
So
they couldn't deliver new product, right?
No.
So that meant that people couldn't go turn in a used car and buy a new car. So they're holding on to the used car, and then those others in the market that had used cars that were wore out that needed to replace them, there weren't any used cars. And what used cars were available, the pricing was through the roof.
Yeah, because dealerships needed to have inventory on the floor in the showrooms. You remember?
You drive by a dealership and you wouldn't see new car models. You would see, they'd have the cars strategically placed well apart from each other, 10 feet apart from each other, versus they were all, back in the day, they were,
Yep. They try to make
close.
They try to make it look like they had inventory, but we all know that the new cars weren't
they
coming out of the
weren't new cars.
factories.
They were 2 years old, 3 years old cars.
Right.
And the prices were very high. And the dealers were competing in the used car market to buy used cars to fill their lots, their new car lots.
That's right.
But so that's going to go away. That's all gone away now. And we're going to see price pressure, downward price pressure on used cars going forward from here. And my look is, well, if there's going to be that many more used or end of life vehicles entering the supply chain, what's that going to do to recycling of catalytic converters?
Hey guys, have you ever wondered if you're leaving money on the table when selling your scrap catalytic converters? Well, we have a solution for you. We have a converter price guide with thousands of part numbers. Just use it. Check it out. You can sign up today, have access for it today. See if you are leaving any money on the table, or keep the guy honest that you're selling to. You want to check it out, make sure you're making the most profits for your business in today's market. It's super simple. Just click the link below. Get started today. Now let's get back to the video.
What's that going to do to recycling of catalytic converters? Going to produce more units available to the supply chain.
That's right, because that's been a big issue for all of us that are processors of catalytic converters the last couple of years is the supply. There hasn't been that much supply in the marketplace of the used catalytic converters.
So if new car manufacturers, the OEMs, are out there building gas-powered engines again.
And hybrids as well.
And hybrids as well. And EVs, but not selling as many. But there'll be more demand for gas-powered engines. That means there will be more demand for manufacture of new catalytic converters, which puts a floor on the PGM prices, in my view. I see that we're going to have a floor, and there's going to be spikes in demand based on manufacturing and retail sales demand. And so that, that's definitely good news. It puts a floor on PGM prices. And we'll see more units enter, more converters entering the supply chain. And it was last 2 years, there was a shrinkage of units. So I expect to see a good increase by the third quarter this year. That's just kind of the way I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, because it's going to take some time with all these changes and including this executive order. It just isn't going to happen overnight.
No, it's not going to happen overnight. But, we're turning that big ship out in the ocean, and that takes a little bit of time to turn, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it does. So what are we saying? We're saying there's big changes ahead in the auto recycling, and if you're buying scrap, if you're into used car sales, or even if you're in the repair side, I think now's the time to adjust your strategy.
That's a good point.
We're going to have more used cars in the pipeline. We're going to have shifting prices. We're going to have stronger demand for PGMs. So my question is, how are you preparing?
That's right. And if you guys haven't had the chance to read this Unleashing American Energy, the executive order, January 20th, 2025, you guys will put the link in the description below. So that way at your leisure, you guys can check it out. It is Section 2, letter E. And if you guys can, drop us a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on how this executive order may change your business or change the auto recycling industry.